So let me step back so you can see what really looks like from the distance. Beautiful giant window treatment. And today I'm gonna work on this Greeky beautiful trim. Okay, let's do this. So let's install this beautiful border. As you already know, I'm gonna install it all the way on the edge of my added border that I added the other day. Now I'm just gonna put the icing on a cake. We're just gonna put this Greeky border right on the edge. So this is what I'm gonna do. Let me first install my phone on this. So I'm gonna do something different. Instead of just keep pinning, well, first of all, let me move the curtain here, because as you saw it already, I'm gonna work straight on this iron board. I'm not gonna take the curtain down. This is my strategy and it works great for me. So this is the bottom. Okay, this is the bottom of the curtain, the first the first edge where I'm gonna install the first trim. And I'm gonna use a little help from this fusible tape. Here I have two tapes. I have a thinner one and then I have a thicker one. I'm gonna use this thinner one. Okay, this is just to get the trim in place. I already have my hot steaming iron here. So all I'm doing is take the tape and put it right on the edge where I want my tape to connect, right under one edge. And I'm just gonna put it on one edge on the very bottom, right here. And I'm not putting it on here and here. I'm gonna go ahead and sew it, pin it and sew it later. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my fusible tape right on the edge. Make sure your curtain is pretty straight because you don't want a wavy line. Make sure it's nice and straight. So I'm gonna do about 12 inches at a time or so. And here I have mine. Make sure you flip that edge inside, that rough edge, about half an inch. And I'm starting right there on the edge, on the end of the curtain, with a perfectly straight fusible tape underneath. Now make sure the temperature is right for the fabric and on your tape. Since this is a synthetic trim, I'm not using it extra hot because I don't want things to melt. So I'm just having it at 5. Make sure everything is right underneath. And I'm trying to move fast, but yet giving enough time for the tape to melt underneath, for the fusible tape. Give it a few seconds to cool off and then we see what we have underneath. I'm telling you, I have to take a break. My landscapers are here blowing the leaves. Okay. Not as noisy, but still noisy. I'm so sorry about that. So as you can see, the tape cooled off. Everything is in place and it's a straight line. Now I'm just gonna move along, but before I do that, I'm gonna pin this part. I'm gonna pin it, make sure it's straight. Remember, don't make your iron too hot because it will curl your tape. If it's not cotton, more than likely you're gonna mess up your. Continue doing the pins as you go along at the same time. And then I'm taking this and I roll it slowly. And I use a pin here to secure it in place. And I'm just moving along in a straight line. You see I have the fusible tape underneath. And I'm placing it right on the edge of those, between the two fabrics. I'm rolling it slowly. And I'm doing that to keep it nice and straight, keep everything in place. Remember, do about 10 inches at a time, 10 to 12 inches at a time. And this is the easy way to get this trim down before you sew it. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can leave it just with a fusible tape, but don't expect it to last forever because you have it in a window, in the sun. The hot sun might melt it out, so next thing you know, in a few months, you have to redo it. You might want to wash it. That's not gonna last, so you need a top stitch. You need to sew it somehow. I hope you have a sewing machine. If no, it's not a bad idea to invest in one. So keep rolling it. If I haven't said yet, I've been sewing for over 25 years. You did came to the right place for the right advices, so I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And always stay tuned for more random projects. And if you have an idea what would you like to see next in my videos, please suggest. I've been doing all kinds of sewings and interior decorating. I started making clothing when I was a teenager. And these days I'm doing all kind of home and fashion designs. That's my passion, always been. From draperies, of course, from custom draperies, from upholstery, beddings, pillows, bed skirts, any sewing involved. Anything that have to do with sewing, trust me, I gave it a try. I love them all. So as you can see, I'm placing my hand underneath and make sure everything is straight and flat. Let's see what we got behind so far. You see, this is what it looks like behind. I'm almost to the end of this panel. So let me do this all the way to the end. And I'll see you right there. Okay, I'm almost coming to the end of this panel. I'm going to show you how I end the process. Let me move a little bit. Okay. Remember, make it perfect. It's very important to make it perfect if you want your curtain, the drapery to hang beautiful. So as I'm coming to the end, I'm not going to cut it right there. So I'm actually going to turn it around on the other side. Few more pins. Now make sure the design is perfectly aligning on the edge. You don't want any crooked tape. You don't want any crooked trimming. So as I'm just spray that. As I got to this point, I'm actually going to turn it around and I'm going to finish it right here where my little hem ends. So this is where it's gonna be right there. So with that being said, I'm gonna cut another 1/2 inch to flip in. So I'm gonna cut it right there. Now make sure when you order your trim, make sure you consider all these numbers. You want to have long enough to flip a little bit on the side. Okay. Now I'm just going to turn it. Nice and flat. I'll just do the same thing. Don't forget to flip it, so do half and then flip the other half. Now take it inside. Take a little extra time here because you're going to see it from outside. It's going to show. Let's put that little tape right there. Put a little bit of this additional tape. Okay. How cute that looks. Make a nice crisp edge. Pin back. Once again, I trace straight. And next, I'm gonna bring my sewing machine and we're gonna sew the edges, both of these edges. Okay, I now have my sewing machine in place. So as you can see, I put my sewing machine right on the very right on the sewing board, iron board, and that's how I like to work with. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, do a top stitch here with, and I'm choosing this silver. I'm choosing the silver thread to pick up from the silver border I have inserted. You can't really see it, but hopefully I can bring back the silver with the thread. And I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch right on the edge of this one time here and one time on top. So I'm gonna put this just the top. In the bobbin I already have just a white thread. Okay, my thread is in place. Now I'm gonna unroll this curtain and start it from the right side and right there. So I guess I'm gonna start with the side that doesn't have that fusible tape in place. Starting with the edge. Like I said, I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch, the widest one, all the way to 5.5 millimeters. I'm gonna reinforce that a few times. The thread is pretty thin. Oh, nice. So now I'm gonna try to focus on this inside silver edge right there. I'm gonna put my top stitch. Control your fabric with your hand underneath. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Let's see what's going on. Very cute. I can see the little sparkle. I'm gonna show it to you later. It's hard to see it. Work slowly, piece by piece, little at a time. Hold it firmly between your two hands. What we got? Let me just show you this, and I'm gonna continue this all the way to the end, and then I come back and do the other edge. Let's see if we can see in the camera. So I put an additional light on. So yeah, basically it's hard to see this top stitch because the silver kind of camouflages with the rest of the trim. But this is the back. There's a white thread in the back, zigzag. As you can see, the fabric is pretty nice and straight. It's as straight as it can get. And then I'm gonna come back on the other side and I'm gonna cover that fusible tape underneath one more time just to make sure it doesn't open. All right, so I'll see you later. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the first edge. As you can see, I did not go across here. I like to see the edge nice and smooth. And now I'm going to go back and do another stitch on this side, right on top of the fusible tape. And that should go pretty easy. It's already in place. Once again, that's just to reinforce that seam. So, okay, if you're wondering, this side I finish it here is because you don't see the other side of the curtain. The one that I finish it in the back of the curtain, this one is in the center of my window, so basically you can see this one from outside. So as you can see, this shadow from the outside is just nice for the actually border to continue and shows a crisp finish from the outside as well. And that's why I did it this way. Now against the wall here, nobody sees this side, so I just finish it here because I needed that extra inch of trim. I didn't want to waste it. So now let's start the other side, right on top of the fusible tape. Basically I'm gonna do the same thing, the exact same thing. Back and forth a few times. Okay, so let me do this all the way to the end and I'll show you the final result after. My border is in place, my curtain is up, and it's almost completed. And let me show you what it looks like from the outside. So let's go outside and I'll show you what it looks like from the outside basically. This is what it looks like from the outside with the added border. So it's cute from the inside, cute from the outside, basically. Alright guys, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy my video. Just ask all your questions below and I'll see you soon. Ciao!